It's been only 1 year since the nuclear meltdown began at Fukushima, and Australian uranium was in at least 5 of the 6 reactors at the time. Australians are gathering outside the State Library to try and stop further exports by alerting people about the responsibilities all Australians share in that tragedy that happened on March 11, 2011.
Today is the first anniversary of the Fukushima nuclear disaster, and hundreds turned out to a rally organised by the local Japanese peace group and other local organisations. The event is part of a national day of action to end uranium mining and kicked off with a performance by a Japanese Wadeko drum group.
However, the problem is that often people don't make the connection between uranium mining in Australia and what's happening in Japan.
So just what is the situation in Japan right now?
52 of 54 power plants are currently shut down in Japan. It calls for all of them to never be reopened again.
But is nuclear power the only way forward?
The Economist came out just last week saying that nuclear power was no longer worthwhile from even a financial point of view. So why are we risking everybody's health by having this terrible power source?
Here's a word from a medical doctor who was galvanised into action by the headlines on that fateful day.
Half of the front page dominated by this horrendous photograph that I thought I'd never ever see, I hoped I'd never ever see. Yeah, of a reactor explosion, billowing cloud of smoke and steam, and what I knew to be the case, full of radioactive toxins that would then spread across the atmosphere into the environment, into the sea.
So where does Japan get its uranium from?
TEPCO, Tokyo Electric Power Company, buys 30% of its uranium from Australia. So Ranger Mine, Roxby Downs Olympic Dam and Beverley.
How should Australia face up to this problem?
We need to make sure that no more Australian uranium fuels a Fukushima.
Is that what's happening?
We were dismayed that the ALP has agreed to more uranium mining in Australia.
Tim Wright read out a statement from Yvonne Margarula, a Mirror Woman elder and the traditional owner of the Ranger Mine site.
He wrote in the letter, this is an industry that we have never supported in the past and that we want no part of into the future. We are all diminished by the awful events now unfolding at Fukushima.
Apparently, uranium mining is not helpful to Australia's bottom line either.
It is only beneficial to only a handful of shareholders and executives of mining companies.
After the rally, the protesters headed off to protest outside the head offices of Rio Tinto and BHP Billiton, the major players in uranium mining.
Thanks for joining us, and see you again tomorrow.